and we're going to have to make adjustments to this roster, but I think Hendon is going to make it because of Brad's, desire to see his picks work out.
Yeah, when I think about it, I think about how the Lions were the team that proposed the emergency quarterback rule, and they remember a couple years ago what happened with the 49ers. And, like, to some extent, you can think about it, and it's like if Jared Goff goes down for an extended period of time, they might be in trouble, especially if it's the playoffs at that point. So your Super Bowl hopes are probably dashed if it comes to that. But I think if you're asking about, guys that can keep them afloat, I think Kyle would be your backup just because what he's shown in these preseason games with the efficiency of the offense, being able to move the ball, lead touchdown drives, that's everything you really want out of a QB2 and just a guy that can come in as a spot starter. But just knowing that they kind of value this third quarterback so much and that they've invested in Hendon, and he has gotten better in practice and he's making some of the adjustments they wanted to see last offseason, I think you can afford to keep him around. You might have to part ways with a player that, probably deserved a roster spot, but at the same time, like, I think we tend to overvalue some of these guys too. And it's like, I don't know if that guy that they, cut because of Hendon is going to get claimed by another team. We don't know that. He could just, come back on the practice squad and you're developing him behind the scenes. So I don't know if it has to work out that way where you're losing a guy necessarily. But I do think I look at the investment that they made in Hendon, and I know how Brad kind of values his picks, as Justin said. And I really struggle to find a way to cut that guy. And, like Will said, it's just essentially year two.
That's the big point. Yeah.
They knew he was going to be out his rookie year with the ACL, and last year was sort of a year of development. I know a lot of people kind of soured when they brought in Teddy Bridgewater, but they always talk about it. It's like, hey, we needed a guy to come in for the playoffs. Hendon had never experienced that before. So, has Kyle been better? Absolutely. Do I think they're giving up on Hendon? I can't say that yet. I think they're going to give him every opportunity to earn a spot in this roster. We'll see what he does in the final preseason game here. He's got a chance to kind of solidify things, but he does have to be better, and I think we can all agree on that.
So we're going 3 thumbs up. Hendon's on this team next Wednesday?
Yeah, I think we're going 3 thumbs up, assuming that he's at least representative in his performance tomorrow and then on Saturday when he's expected to play a lot. I mean, at some point, if he continues to just lay eggs in these preseason games, they would be forced into making an uncomfortable decision, mostly because at that point you would probably feel comfortable that other teams wouldn't claim him. But yes.
Not enthusiastic, clearly. It's more like a 15-degree.
Yeah.
All right. We're skipping running backs. I don't think we need to entertain the Nolan Bianchi conversation that Craig Reynolds is on any kind of bubble. And maybe that's no longer true, but he certainly said it. So we're gonna let people know. You guys have nothing to add in the running back room, right? Like Vaki's looked really good. He seems like he's past the hamstring. I think we can transition right into the receivers, which I think is one of the most fascinating discussions. And so in the locks, the conversation that I want to have, and maybe it's a really quick one, guys, but I've gone from Tim Patrick 100% lock to probably somewhere in the ballpark of 85 to 90%. And it's only because Tesla's look so good, but what doesn't drop that percentage further for me is Tesla hasn't looked as good when he's put in those situations where he's had to face a starting caliber corner. He got locked up by Terry and Arnold the other day. The pass you were talking about, Will, that Hooker, just threaded in there was against Tyson Russell. I mean, it's not like he's absolutely dominating every single day on practice. He's ahead of the curve, but I still think Tim Patrick, brings value to this roster.
Yeah, I agree. And if it had dipped for me to the range that you're referencing, like that 85 to 90%, I almost feel like watching him in the 2 practices this week restored it to like 95, 100. It felt like he's had a couple days the Lions were waiting for him to have. He made an incredible catch in the end zone on Monday. And then, to be fair, also later couldn't come down with a similar fade ball. But those are the kind of red zone, in the air, contested catches that they want to see Tim Patrick make for this offense. And then on Tuesday comes back and I thought played pretty well again, including closing practice with a touchdown, albeit with the second team offense. But again, getting free in the back of the end zone on a fourth and goal from like the 8 or 9, and just being that big physical target that the Lions signed him to be last year, that he was last year, and that I still think they envision him being this year. And I just think there's so much built-in trust and reliability, not just from the coaching staff to Tim Patrick, but from Jared Goff to Tim Patrick. And I think that Goff's perspective here matters maybe as much as anyone's. Not that they're like consulting his advice on the roster, but they know how he feels about each of his receivers. And I think the comfort and rapport that those two have established only elevates Patrick's already really high chances to make the team.